Mate, the big news, and I think the big topic that I think we should drill into, and it's now official that the lockdown that is being experienced in Sydney and Melbourne and other regions around Sydney and Melbourne is now, there's a heap of evidence that suggests that the floodgates are about to open and there's going to be further growth in property prices, particularly in the regionals, as they come out of those lockdowns.
Well, certainly coming out of lockdowns, but it's happening during the lockdowns too.
True.
True. I've had a couple of conversations with agents in some regions this week, and investors from the southern states are buying property sight unseen and paying up to 25% over, so that 100k over on a 300,000 50-year-old existing property.
Yeah, mate, and the locals, they kind of, as they sit there and they see that happening, they can't believe what's happening. They kind of look at the properties and go, will they achieve that price? An out-of-towner comes in and pays above it. So from a local perspective, they're caught a little bit in as a surprise, whereas what we've now become very familiar with is this ripple as it pushes into new markets. It's kind of almost destined to happen. It's just a ripple effect.
Yeah, it's a flood, ripple, whatever you call it. That the swell is definitely pushing
up. We watched it push out of Sydney, up the coast of New South Wales last year, into southeast Queensland at the start of this year, and it's really that tide's rising in southeast Queensland. Now we're watching the ripple roll out of southeast Queensland. We're watching some new regional markets just take off overnight, and that's what you're obviously making reference to, those markets that we're watching that have been a bit sleepy. We knew they had huge potential, but now they're starting to take off.
Yeah, the last 12 months we've been watching rents increase, capital increase, and they've been going together, which we haven't seen before. I think, those rents have pushed, and then there's another little wave now where prices are really jumping.
Yeah.
And I think rents are still going to keep going with it, but I feel like...
you can't get a rental property, so that rents have to rise, right?
That's right.
There's hardly any rental properties out there.
That's right. But I just feel like this is the moment that now in the regions that prices are really starting to jump.
Yeah, it's funny because there is some investors out there that wonder, can this continue to happen? Of course, the naysayers saying, well, it's got to slow down, it's got to, this boom's got to come to an end. The latest surveys out by CanStar, now they did extensive research into, investor mindset, and confidence is super high for further growth in the property market. It's exceptionally high, higher than expected, and there's 4 times as much confidence in that. Shown in that survey, four times as much confidence in the housing market as opposed to the apartment market that we know has some issues and some growing concerns, but a lot of confidence in general and big confidence in the regionals.
That's just continues to go leaps and bounds as far as people's perception of the regions. 1, to live, 2, to invest. So it's a double whammy for the regions. I think the apartment conversation's for another day. There's a lot of hurt still to be had there.
I think it's a good conversation to have as we're seeing more and more of the data. We should be sharing that.
100%, 100%. But certainly the areas that we've been putting posture behind for the last couple of years, it's continued just to escalate.
And it's almost like the markets that we knew were going to happen over the next 5 or 10 years. The amount of growth that we expected to see happen, sort of over the midterm is happening very, very quickly right now.
It is. Yeah. No question.